So I've been doing some painty papers because I don't have a lot of fall ones left. I know, what a shocker, right? Because I made like 300, but I've kind of been sharing them, so I've got to kind of build my stash back up. So today, me and my 6-year-old, we did some painty papers, and I'm going to show you hers because I'm really impressed with, the thought. This here was a paper. She kept a little piece of paper aside for runoff. Even though I had this down, she used another sheet, which I was like, that's fine. I let her really just explore her own. She used some of my iridescent stuff on that one. But I really like some of her color combos. This, she just put some glitter on. She did really good. I was very impressed. So those are hers. And I'll show you mine. If you are new to my channel, I would like to welcome you. I have a pile here for my greens because all of my painting papers are done on repurposed paper, including kids' schoolwork. These are greens. I tested something out with a stencil, and we're going to play with that theory a little bit more today. So I did some green stuff, and there's that. Then I kind of got into the squiggly thing, these waves, and I really like them. Like, I really got into the waves today. And I'm thinking this is all fallish. I showed Vera how I do, the pages of squares. I feel like this is all fallish enough to use, And like some of these, the pages on the other side are blank, but I like the idea of having something in the background, so I'm going to add more to these, okay? I'm going to add more. I don't know. I might just slap. We had a lot of blue left from something, so I just used them on that. We might just do some more slapping of paint right now, just because it's what feels right to me. And I know Shannon Green just did a painty paper video. And it's funny, like whenever I get an idea in my head, it's almost like the crafty world develops this telepathic power and they do a video on whatever I have in my head before I say anything to anybody about it. So I just think it's funny. These, I was kind of trying for like a bloody mess. Halloween stuff. I used up all my blood papers. We'll make some more blood papers. Not today, but we'll make some more. So, this is, I was just going dark, dark colors. We're going to do some playing around. I got a huge stack of these things they're from Target, I think. And, it's cardstock. So I got a big stack of them for like $1 at Goodwill a long time ago. So I've got all that. I still have a ton of paper. Like when I say a ton, y'all, I have got more paper than I know what to do with. Okay. Oh, I like this. Like, I like the clock with the hands. I'm totally keeping the clock with the hands. What the hell am I doing here? Before we started our painting papers, I was harvesting a medical dictionary, and y'all, some of the pictures in that book were like so disgusting. I mean, just so gross. I could not believe it. I officially had to retire my paint palette. Let me show you because it's delicious. Look at that. I officially had to retire this. I can't peel it off. Maybe I could crack it. Oh no, I cracked the whole thing. So I'll have to find another large lid in my kitchen stash. I'm one of those people who saves the good containers. So I'm going to have to see what I have for large lids because this is just, ooh, look at that. I got it started. Oh, maybe I can. You guys can stay here for the satisfaction of the paint peeling. Oh my God, I cannot believe. We tried for a while today and I was just able to get little chunks off the edges. But I guess it decided, maybe because I had wet it a little bit with the paint. I did put some paints on top of this and tried, but it just didn't. They were just really hard to get to. See, like it went into the little grooves of the underbelly. I mean, y'all, this is like years of layers. This is years of paint layers. I said to Vera, I was like, I guess I'm going to have to put this one, I guess I'm going to have to get another one. And she's like, well, don't throw that one out. And I'm like, I'm not. I would keep it because it's like art. She goes, it is art. But I really like this big one. And I know I haven't gotten one of these big butters. So, gotta try. We gotta try and save the big butter. I guess not. Oh, maybe. I haven't really trying to get back in touch with my creative. We'll play with this later. I'm not gonna, but look at these pretty painty chips, both sides. Like, this is just so much paint history, and it's thick. There's a lot of paint history there. Oh, hey, an idiot just drove by. So we'll just save that for another day. What color do I want to do on here? I'm going to try something. I did it with a stencil earlier, but then I grabbed a couple of my texture-y thingies. So we're going to try it with a texture-y thingy because I was able to grab it and it was really hard to get to. So I'm really enjoying the fact that I could get something out of that drawer. Kind of disgusted with how hard it is to get stuff out of that drawer. So I'm going to have to move that bin. All right, let's try with not so much paint. Oh, yeah, look, it does. It leaves a texture. It does. Yep. Like, I was thinking of something crinkled. I might sacrifice one of my Amazon envelopes and do it over. And I'm sure, I know, you're probably oh, hey, I do that all the time, but I don't. I stencil over things, and then I do, texture things on jelly plates, but I haven't thought of this until now. Can you see that texture? Yeah, you can see it, y'all. You can see that. I have my paint sorted. I'm sure you could see, I've got them all in bins by color, and Vera kind of spread my colors out today, so I have to resort as I go. The joys of children. It's funny when you're a child and you don't put the same attention into things as you do when you're an adult. And it's just funny because I watch my kids and I'm like, wow, was I that inattentive when I was a kid? Did I forget to do these things like that? I must have. We all must have been that way. We all must have. I guess when you're an adult and you have more responsibilities, obviously, you think about things that make your life easier and how to handle it. And when you're a kid, you just don't, because usually there's an adult there doing it for you. But we do push our kids to be independent and to do things on their own, so they're pretty good about it. They are pretty good about, just being independent and pulling their weight, because we live in an old farmhouse on a big piece of property. I mean, it's not big. We have 6.5 acres, but so everybody has a job. And when we had chickens, which we do not have anymore, but we're going to get some again someday. But when we did have them, everybody had a job, and some of it involved the chickens. And then when it was coop cleaning day, which we did every, once a season, usually sometimes twice in the summer, we all pitched in. It was all hands on deck cleaning that coop, So we're teaching them. They have jobs. We don't just let them sit around all day. They're not ornaments in my house, okay? They're people, and they have to contribute. And at the same time, I'm teaching them how to be independent, productive members of society. Unlike most parents, whose children are just ornaments on their furniture, and the children run the show and tell the parents how it's going to be and what's going to happen. And that's just not how we do things in my house. I just broke the lid on that. So that's why it's hard when we go to school, because they see how these other kids act, and they start to pick up those behaviors. So we have to kind of constantly keep correcting them. But again, it's just a part of life, and it's a part of their learning process. They're going to have to learn how to handle, you know, how to behave. They're just going to have to balance themselves. And they will. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm perfectly confident that my babes will be able to rise up to the challenge, because they're both very smart young ladies. Too smart sometimes. Too smart. But, you know, slapping paper has just felt right. Just has been weighing on my mind. And like I said, I've been watching some paint slapping. And I've just been wanting to do it. Let's try this doily thing. This is like, you know, Dollar Tree. Ooh, there's two. Well, we're going to just take one. And I'm going to get rid of this shitty tag. Let's try this. I don't know how this is going to work, because this is, you know, it's not hard like the, whatever that was I was just using. It's not hard like the whatever. Oh, but it's got a good, that's got a good, yeah, let's orange it up. Let us orange. I have started crocheting bandanas, and there's a salon down the road who wants to put my headbands in, and maybe, I don't know, they might want to put the bandanas too. But I love bandanas and headbands. This might not work, guys, because it might not be hard enough. And the holes might not be small enough to make it, I mean, it's leaving a texture. It is leaving a texture. Okay, so it's not that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work the way I had wanted it to. But we're not going to give up just yet. We're going to continue on. We are going to continue on. So I know that I said, like, I don't want to get political on my channel, and I don't. But we just found out today that the president has dropped out of the race. And I don't care what side you're on. Like, you know, I really don't. It bothers me that people get so offended by political choice. I know a lot of people on both sides that are amazing human beings. Okay, I'm on neither side. If you want to know my stance, I hate them all pretty equal. And I'm sure, like, the FBI is going to monitor my channel now that I said that, because I might be considered, you know, dangerous. But they're a bunch of scumbags, and I'm sure that the FBI will agree. So if you're watching this, secret agent, you totally get it. You agree with me. But what a mess our country is in. Like, what a mess. Our president has dropped out of the race because he's like 112, and he knows he's 112, and, you know, he's definitely not as sharp as a leader of a modern day country should be. You know, and like I said, love him or hate him, that is exactly where he is. And I'm just freaking glad the old coot realized it, you know. But what are we gonna do? Like, they have to come up with somebody for their party. You know, they got to come up with like a freaking, oh, see, it's leaving some texture. They have got to come up with a nominee. And like, from what I read, you know, they're all scrambling. I bet you it's a zoo at the White House right now. I bet you Washington, D.C. is just a buzzing nightmare right now. You couldn't pay me enough to be involved in that shit. Whew. Like, the school, they're taking my daughter's 5th grade class to D.C. this year. They're planning it, they usually do it in the fall, but they're planning it in the spring because they don't want to be anywhere near there during the election season, which I totally get it. I am in total agreement. I bet you it's a dangerous place to be. So, so they're planning it for the spring, and I'm dreading it. Like, I'm dreading going to that freaking area, you know. But I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna let her go without me. I would want to be sure that somebody is there with my child. I don't have to go, but I don't know. It's just, maybe I could be considered a helicopter parent. I don't know. I bend these. Credit cards too, I've been snapping credit cards. That's why I switched to these things, but these bend, so I'm going to have to start switching. I'm going to have to start going the other way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go. I have no desire to go there. The only thing I want to go there for is like the museums. I think the Smithsonian is in that vicinity. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are some pretty interesting historical places there, and I would like to visit that. I would like to do that, but not to see the White House and shit, Capitol building. Those places can just, whew, they could just stay right there without me. Just leave me alone out here in my little hill in the woods. See, it's not really picking up these colors. Now you would think, because all of the fall colors will make mud, and they do, but when you do them like this, the mud isn't as muddy. Not to mention, brown is a fall color too. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're making a mess. Brown is a fall color. So when you create a little bit of brown, leaves turn brown when they're on the ground for a while, okay? Those leaves don't stay vibrant and orange and red for forever while they lay there. They're going to turn brown and crunchy and break apart. So mud is okay in the fall. Mud paper is okay in the fall, okay? This thing just don't work like I wanted it to work. And then I grabbed, what else did I get? That's all I got. Well, I got this cheesecloth on accident, but I totally didn't want to do that. Let's see. I'm going to try an Amazon envelope. Okay, so the Amazon envelope didn't pan out. So this is bubble wrap, though, which is what's in that envelope. So let's see what this does. Let's see, what color? Let's do some dark purple and red ones. I think of warmth when I think of the fall. So deep, dark, warm colors, and dark purple, dark red. Can you believe I don't have a nice dark brown? This is different. It's not going to create, oh look, it could, if you add enough paint, that bubble wrap could make some real... so this works for stencils. I was able to do with my stencil earlier, and it does work for... I have a dark brown. I don't think I've opened it. Let's open it. But it's not really dark. Like, I'm thinking dark brown. Can you believe there's a freaking paint color I don't own? Oh, the rain has started. It's so dark. Like, I don't know. There's some storms. You know, we're expecting storms all week. Like, every day. My husband's so mad because we have so much to do outside. You know, but we kind of lucked out. It was really dry here for a long time, even if it was 112. I like this bubble wrap thing. It's not a ton of texture all at once, but it's something. You get a little bit. You do get a little bit of something. Let's put some of my dark red. I think I have another dark red too. No, that one's new. I'm not opening new ones unless I need to. And I've got a lot of unopened ones in here. But I'm not touching them until... I am not touching them until I have to. I might put some kind of metallic too. I haven't been playing with the metallics as much today. Which is so unlike me, because I'm usually like, I usually have my way of paint, then metallic paint on everything. But I was going, like when I was using my Painty Papers last year for fall, there were times I did not want metallic, and I had a lot of metallic. And I was kind of upset. I was like, why do I put metallic on everything? So I guess I'm just not thinking about using it this time as much. But this I might put some metallic, some... deep, like this here is like a copper color, which is probably gonna look just like that brown, right? Like, I have big tubes of paint that I should probably use up, because like I don't, you know, the little 2-ounce bottles are nice because they fit in these bins. Then I got like them big ass things of paint. See, it just blends in with the brown. Pretty blendy. I love to paint, though. I love doing this. Like, I love to do this. And I know a lot of you get it. A lot of you, if you're watching my channel, you probably get it. Oh, this was that birth book that I got when I was in the hospital with Vera. You know, you get them when you're having a baby, which, you know, I don't need that shit. I have all the things I need for my kids. I don't need these things too. If I did this dark green and the copper color, the only problem with the dark green is I have had some serious boogers come out of that thing today. I gotta remember to flip my card over. Now the only problem with this type of thing is that my bubble wrap is longer than my table, so I'm going to keep bumping the paint side into my big fat gut. So that is going to create a little bit of a conundrum. That is going to create a little bit of a sitch if you're like me and you got a gut problem. All right, I used this one that doesn't have a ton of it in there. Oh, let's have the satisfying lid peel. That wasn't satisfying at all. Oh my god. Here we go. I love when you pull the whole thing off like one fell swoop. Not like that epic fail that I just had, only because I'm taping it. I'm filming, taping. Like, I still say videotape it. Does anybody else say that when they're making a video on their phone? Like the kids, Lily found a little snapping turtle last night. I'm like, hold on, let me videotape it. Does anybody else videotape anymore? I videotape, apparently. I don't know, it's just the word. When I was a kid, that's what we used to do. We videotaped. You know? Someone had a camcorder and we were videotaping something. I hope everyone's summer has been going good. It's just been hot as blazes here. Oh, that was way too much paint. I guess I'm doing a lot of this dark red here. Big booger in the way though, and I was kind of careless with my squeezing. Well, they're all going to have this color now till we're done. Till we're done for the day. Let's try tucking my bubble wrap up underneath my bins because maybe it'll hold it still a little bit better for me. I hope, what's everybody working on? I hope you're all getting some craft time in this heat. I'm grateful for the air conditioner in my building and the air conditioner in my house because, like I said, I've been crocheting and I've been fussy cutting. I got a ton of books to harvest that are books that didn't sell at my last live sales that I don't want to throw out and I don't want to donate, so I don't want to get rid of them, you know, unless I donate them to Defy, but I know that they have got plenty of books of their own, so I don't want to, you know, burden them with more. But I've been harvesting a ton of books, like so many books, so many books. And so I've got a lot of fussy cutting to do. And I already have like bins, I mean totes of images that I've already harvested out of books and magazines, and somehow like they just keep showing up. They just keep on coming. Well, hopefully that once I'm done with this, people can't see the words on it because it's kind of not appropriate for artwork, okay? I'm sure all of you have read them. I'm sure you have all seen them by now. If not, rewind it a few seconds. See, and I still say rewind. Like, what are people, what's the word now? What's the official word? Because it can't be rewind. It's got to be like what? You back it up, back the video up a few seconds. I did a lot of rewinding in my life. And I still say rewind. I still say it. We're going to the Model T, well, not the Model T, the Henry Ford Museum next week. My daughter's rebuilding a 1925 Model T with her dad, and that's someplace they wanted to go. So we're going to go there, and it's in Michigan, and that's 9.5 hours from me. And it's going to be like a quick thing. It's going to be drive up, museum, drive home, you know. That looks like vomit. This is vomit green. I mean, I'm sure it's going to have its place, but definitely vomitlicious. Sure, I'll find a place that I'll say, oh man, I really need that vomit color here, but I don't know if this is the place. Like, unless you had some kind of nasty turd underneath the beautiful leaves in your yard, and that's what the turd looked like. But yeah, I'm excited for the museum. Not as excited as they are because I have I'm having a problem with my foot, plantar fasciitis, and it really aches the more I'm on it. So, you know what that museum has a lot of? Walking. So I'm trying to keep it like braced and take breaks between standing and not, you know, not doing too much on it. And I think it's helping. Like, it hasn't hurt as bad the last couple days. But that's not saying much because I'll go through periods where it does not hurt as bad, you know? So I just don't know. I just don't know what to say about it, okay? It annoys me. I get annoyed by pain. My tolerance, I have a pretty high tolerance level, but I get annoyed when pain is prohibiting to my life. Oh my God, it's almost 7 o'clock at night. Well, we've covered all the bases. We've covered politics, vacation trips, child raising. We haven't gotten into religion, but I might just save that for another video. We'll save the religious controversy for another day. I don't want to overwhelm you all with my opinionated self. But I don't know if I'm going to add any more to this video than this. We'll do some stenciling, just a little bit, just a few little stenciling things before I call it quits for the night. I gotta move all my texture shit though, because I'm gonna need room to put some stencils. I don't know, maybe you want to look at my stencils with me, so I'll take you along for the stencil show. Okay, I'm not going, I can't go nuts here. Okay, we're just playing a little, okay? I'm not stenciling all night, she says, as she stencils all night. No, I can't do that. I gotta go in and get some things done. Let's grab, I guess, what did I just do with the papers that I just showed you from yesterday, or from earlier today? Oh, they're in here. Let's do some stenciling, because these ones need to dry, so those can go up here. I will start with this one, and we're going to use some light colors. Like, I'm going to need my little spongy doodah. When you buy sponges like this, buy the cheap ones. Just trust me on this. Okay, buy cheap, because The expensive ones, I have not had any luck. I haven't had any luck with the expensive ones for the most part, but they're not any better. I haven't had any that were any better than the cheap ones. I like the cheap ones better, actually. Should I mix some of the iridescent? I mean, it says it's violet, but that's okay. Violet would look good in with brown, right? And let's go ahead and do some honeycombs. Now, I haven't stenciled in a while, so I've got to get myself in, you know, proper stencil mode here. Sometimes it takes me a couple of pages. See, like, way too much paint there. Don't limit yourself to just one stencil per page. I'm going to go through and do a layer of these, and then sometimes I'll go back and add more. So never assume that you only have to do one layer of stencils, okay? Because you don't. Like, that's going to look better with a little something else added to it, right? And I've still got more of this, so I'm going to... I always go through and do this afterwards. I don't think you're supposed to, but I'm not wasting none of this paint, right? And then you cut up your little sponge that much faster. And I like the way that looks. Okay, you're not going to change my mind on it. But my sponge is kind of falling apart here. So I'm going to have to go easy with the rubbing. And we'll try one of these ones. Same thing, because I'm not wasting this. I'm not going to switch to a different color when I don't have to. Ooh, we can try one thing. It works half the time. The rest of the time it doesn't work so well, but we'll try it after here. Let's try and whip through this one here so that it doesn't dry on the stencil too bad. Okay, that looks good. Then grab a dark paper. Come on, Malia, this is drying like pretty damn fast. I don't know if this is going to work, so. No, sometimes it does. Sometimes you get a good juicy amount on there. Today wasn't a juice day. Let's go ahead and suck this up. This iridescent thing, it's going to look cool. You watch. You watch and see. And don't be afraid to move it around either. You know, I didn't on the other ones because I figured I could add other things, but don't be afraid to go off the corner up here, like so, with whatever you got left in your sponge, you know. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go in different directions and mishmash. And look, I get a little bit here too. All right, next color we are going to try will be, I don't want to try a light green on this stuff. I want to do something kind of warm. Maybe we'll go with this metallic and see how that goes. Right? And for the stencil, we will choose the flowers. I love me some flowers. I don't care if it's fall time. I don't care if it's springtime. This is one of my favorite stencils. And then this is going to look light. You're going to see it, but I might go through and go over it with go around the flowers with a gel pen after, and then it'll pop a little better. Anyway, I would hope. And if I wanted to, which I will, I'm going to take the next one. We'll use one of the ones that we just did. And I'm going to mix some of the metallic with white. Because I have learned that when you mix colors and you get like a two-tone thing going on, it is really cool. Watch this. It's going to be like milky. It's going to be like chocolate milk that hasn't been mixed. You know? Like hot chocolate with foam on top as you're drinking it. It's going to mix, you know, start to mix but not be mixed. You'll say, you'll say. Here I am saying this stuff. You probably do this. I definitely didn't invent this. You're probably like, yeah, Emily, I do that all the time. You know? See, it's like two different colors. Love it. Loving every minute of it. Okay. Use up whatever's left by smashing it in there. Okay.